Hey everybody, this is War Boss Fitz. Welcome back to another How to Play Age of Fantasy Armies, and today we are going to be going over the Dwarves, the jolly little balls of hate. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about our 3D creator of the week, and this time it is Highlands Miniatures. Now for this Dwarf army, I have gotten all of the models that you're going to see in the army from Highlands Miniatures, and Good Enough Gaming just did his Dwarf army showcase on his channel that shows off his much larger Dwarf army that he got 90% of it from Highlands Miniatures. And they don't only do Dwarves, they are working their way through all of the classic fantasy lines. I have many goblins in my different armies that come from Highlands. They also do some wonderful human empire style armies, along with beautiful mounted troops in all the different delicious levels of evil that you would want. So if you have a 3D printer, or if you want to pick up some 3D printers from a different creator somewhere else on the internet, go check out Highlands Miniatures. I'm sure it won't disappoint you. So back to the Dwarves. This army was a whole lot of fun to make because the Dwarf army lends itself to tough infantry, crazy war machines, and a whole bunch of artillery. Everything that you would want in a Dwarf army is in the Age of Fantasy Dwarf list. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start with the special rules. Artillerist, once per this unit's activation, pick one friendly unit with entrenched within 6, which may either immediately shoot or move by up to 6 inches. This is going to be the only way you're going to be able to move your artillery. Or if you have an artillerist right next to them, you can get your cannons to shoot twice in one turn. Battle Eager, this model and its unit may ignore the slow rule. This is going to be on your character models. This is very valuable to you because without this, all of the Dwarf infantry are slow. So with this, it's going to get them to the fight faster. Bombing Run, whenever this model moves over enemy units, pick one of them and roll X dice. For each 2+, it takes 3 hits with AP 1. This is going to be on the Bomber Copter. For whenever the enemy is danger close, you could choose to roll right over them and throw bombs out of your back end. Devour. Whenever this model attacks in melee, roll 1 die. On a 6+, the target takes 1 wound. This is going to be for the different bear units that this army takes. Grudge. This model and its unit get +1 to hit in melee. This is going to be another character ability. It's always invaluable to be able to up the quality of your entire unit with one character with just one skill. Shield Wall. This model gets +1 to defense rolls against all hits that are not from spells. Your basic infantry are going to have this, so that makes them a little bit tougher than they look just glancing at the army list. Slayer. This model gets AP +2 in melee against units where most models have toughness 3 or higher. This is going to be for your Berserker Dwarves. They are going to want to get in combat with the biggest things on the board, and it increases their AP when they do it. Swift. This model may ignore the slow rule. Again, it's something very important for this army. Swift is going to be for when you take a character model and you give him a mount. Swift just takes away the slow rule, so he starts from a baseline. Tunneler. This model counts as having ambush and may be deployed up to 1 inch away from enemy units. This is going to be for the miner unit. Dwarves that are undermining the enemy, popping out of their tunnels just to attack them in the flanks or from the rear. So those are all the special rules. You'll see them as they come up in the army list, but for now we're going to move to spells. Smiting Rune 1, target enemy unit within 12, they take 3 hits. Spite Rune 1, target enemy unit within 12, takes 2 hits with AP 2. Battle Rune 2, target 2 friendly units within 12, they get +2 next time they advance or +4 next time they rush and charge. Breaking Rune 2, target enemy model within 12 takes 2 hits with AP 4. Cleaving Rune 3, target 2 enemy units within 9, they take 6 hits each. And Drill Rune, target 2 friendly units within 18, they get flying next time they activate. So a lot of their spells are focused on offensive power, giving your caster the ability to sit into a frontline unit and push out some more damage. The 2 spells that are buffs, giving 2 friendly units +2 and +4, that pretty much negates the slow rule for that unit, which is another way to get your models to move faster if you don't have enough characters to spread around with Battle Eager. And Drill Rune, giving 2 friendly units within 18 flying, that just means that you can assault the enemy from places they never thought possible. So let's go ahead and move into our first character. It is a Dwarf champion for 45 points. This guy has a lot of options because he is meant to go everywhere. Quality 3, defensive 4. Fearless, hero, slow, and toughness 3. Comes with a heavy hand weapon with 3 attacks at AP 1. He can be upgraded to be a Grudge Bearer, which gives them Grudge, Warden Lord for Battle Eager, Army Standard Bearer for Fear of 3, Rune Lord for Caster 2, or an Engineer for Artillerists. You can replace the heavy hand weapon with dual heavy hand weapons, a heavy halberd, a heavy great weapon, or a heavy spear. You would upgrade it with a heavy shield, a champion rifle, a champion twin pistol, a flame gun, a champion crossbow, or an organ rifle. And you could also upgrade the character with a beast, ancient stone, steam-powered suit, shield carrier, or great bear. So like I said, this character is meant to go anywhere that you need a character. You can put him on a great bear and put him in your war bear unit. You can give him a steam-powered suit so he can walk around and just be a beast on his own. Or you can give him all the upgrades to give him better defense and toughness inside of an infantry squad. With all of the weapon upgrades, he's going to be able to integrate into any unit, and he's also going to be able to carry any of the ranged weapons that you could put in the army. Most notably, he's going to be used for that Battle Eager to take away the slow rule on your units, Caster 2 to be an offensive caster or to give out the extra movement to your units around them, Grudge for the +1 to hit for large squads of warriors. Or he can sit back with the artillery to give them more versatility to get them to move or to fire more shots. The choice is up to you. This is the character who's going to do all of that for you. Our next character is the Berserker Lord for 35 points, quality 4, defensive 6. Fearless, furious, hero, slayer, slow, and toughness 3. Has 1 attack with his great axe at AP 2 and deadly 3. You can replace that great axe with dual heavy hand weapons for 4 attacks at AP 1. You can upgrade him with Battle Eager, so that way he takes away the slow in the unit, or you could put them on a beast, which gives him Swift and Devour. The Berserker Lord is 9 times out of 10 going to be better inside of a Berserker squad. And for that Berserker squad, always upgrade him with Battle Eager to turn your little balls of hate into faster balls of hate. So those were your 2 options for characters. We're going to go ahead and move into the units now. Our first one up is Warriors, 10 of them for 70 points. Quality 4 and defensive 5, shield wall, and slow. They're all equipped with hand weapons for 1 attack. You can switch out that hand weapon for a halberd or a spear, and you can upgrade it with the command section, which is a sergeant, musician, and banner. Sergeant means that one of your models inside the unit gets +1 to hit. Musician means that the squad is able to move +1 inch in movement, and banner means they get +1 to their quality tests when they do morale tests. This is going to be your big bricks of Dwarven infantry. With the shield wall, it effectively makes them defensive 4, taking away 1 AP from any of the enemy's weapons, and with a spear that gives them all counter, so if anything charges your ball of Dwarven warriors, they get to attack first. And as we go through, you can see that the level of infantry increases as we go further. Our next option is the Bearded Veterans, 5 of them for 60 points, quality 3 and defensive 4. They are fearless and slow. They all have 1 attack apiece from their heavy hand weapons with AP 1. You replace the heavy hand weapons with a heavy great weapon, giving them AP 3, or a heavy spear, which gives them AP 1 and counter. You can also upgrade them with a sergeant, musician, or banner. This is going to be a step up from your basic infantry. These guys are going to be more reliable, more hardy on the battlefield, and with their natural AP on their weapons, they're going to go after harder targets. Our next unit is Berserkers, 5 of them for 80 points, quality 4 and defensive 5. Fearless, furious, slayer, and slow. They all come equipped with dual hand weapons for 2 attacks apiece, and they have the command upgrades with sergeant, musician, and banner. Now this unit has no native AP, but with the Slayer rule, these guys should be going after the biggest target on the field. Anything that has more than toughness 3, they're going to be AP 2. So that means that trolls, giants, chariots, anything that's on a 40mm or larger base or comes in squads of 3, they're going to be doing a whole lot of damage to. The next unit is Miners, 5 of them for 75 points, quality 4, defensive 5, ambush, and slow. They come equipped with explosives for 1 shot at 12 inches with AP 1 and picks for 1 attack. You can replace all their explosives with a mining rig, which gives them Tunneler and Furious. That allows them to pop up 1 inch away from the enemy, and the Furious roll means that if they roll a 6 whenever they charge, they get an extra attack that automatically hits. You can replace one of the picks with a mining drill for AP 2 and Deadly 3, and you can also give them the upgrades of the Sergeant, Musician, or Banner. These guys have the luxury of being the one Dwarf infantry unit that does not need to march all the way across the field. With ambush, they can pop up right behind or beside the enemy and get right to grips with them. The next unit is the Iron Warriors, 5 of them for 70 points, quality 3, defensive 3, shield wall, and slow. They come equipped with runed weapons, which have 1 attack apiece with rending. You can upgrade one model with a twin fire pistol or a shrapnel bomb, which gives them some ranged attack. And you also get the upgrade of the command section of the Sergeant, Musician, or Banner. So as we go up, these are just more capable infantry. They have shield wall, so they are negating 1 AP on the enemy's weapons, and with quality 3, their attacks are going to go through a whole lot more than the regular warrior. And with their weapons having rending, they are going to remove the enemy's ability to use regeneration. Our last infantry style unit for the Dwarves is the Hammer Elites. 5 of them for 110 points, quality 3, defensive 4 with slow. They are all armed with great weapons for 2 attacks apiece at AP 2, and you can give them the command section of the Sergeant, Musician, and Banner. This is going to be the peak of the mountaintop when it comes to damage from infantry Dwarf units. With their 2 attacks with AP 2, they're going to be able to rip down much larger targets. They don't have quite the durability of the other units with only having defense 4 and no heavy shield, so they're going to be more of a finesse unit for the Dwarf army. You're going to want to put them places where they can get a charge off, they can wreck face, and don't take too many hits back. Our next unit is Golems, 3 of them for 120 points, quality 4 and defensive 3, slow, strider, and toughness 3, and they have 3 attacks apiece at AP 1 from their stone fists. This unit is going to be a sledgehammer type unit. The only thing they want to do is move towards the enemy to punch them in the mouth. And with Strider, they're going to be able to ignore any difficult terrain along the way. They are still slow, so you're going to want to give them caster backup to either cast a spell on them to get them to move faster, or put a character with the unit to ignore the slow rule. Our next unit are Steam Suits, 3 of them for 195 points, quality 3 and defensive 3. Slow and toughness 3. 2 attacks apiece with their bashes and 3 attacks at 18 inches with AP 1 from their steam guns. You can replace all the steam guns and bashes for a great weapon and a heavy shield. That gives them shield wall and 3 attacks at AP 2. And also you save some points doing that. So this is another unit where if you put a character in a steam suit and give them the upgrade to where you remove the slow, giving them the great weapon and heavy shield is going to give you a very tough, durable unit that's going to be able to go in and wreck face, even more so than the Golems, but the point value reflects that. This unit doubled up, tooled up with a character moving as fast as they possibly can, is going to be a powerhouse inside any Dwarf army list. Now to the shooters. Marksmen, 5 of them for 70 points, quality 4, defensive 5 with slow. 1 attack apiece from their hand weapons, and they are armed with rifles for 1 shot at 18 inches with AP 1. You can replace all the rifles with a crossbow if you need some longer range and rending instead of the AP, and you can replace one of the rifles with a twin pistol for 2 shots at 9 inches with AP 1. And they can also take the command upgrade of the Sergeant, Musician, and Banner. Marksman in the Dwarf army is going to be invaluable to at least have 1 unit to reach out and touch the enemy while your slow troops are moving forward. Replacing the rifle with a crossbow would probably be the better choice just to give you the extra little bit of range. And with the rending on there, you have the possibility of dishing out some AP 4 hits. The next ranged unit is the Rangers, 5 of them for 80 points, quality 4 and defensive 5 with scout and slow. 1 attack with their hand weapon, and they have throwing axes for 2 attacks at 12 inches. You can replace the throwing axes with a crossbow, again for more range and rending, and you can give them the Sergeant, Musician, or Banner. With the Scout rule, these guys are going to be able to move up to the midpoint of the board before the game even starts. So if you want to use them as a pushing offensive unit, then keeping them with the throwing axes is a pretty good idea. It gives you more shots than you would get with a crossbow at short range. Their defense isn't great, but their ability to hold their own in hand-to-hand combat with a quality of 4 is not bad either. But you could also choose to give this squad a crossbow just like your marksman. That one's up to you. The next unit I kind of put into a category all of its own. The Drake Marksmen. 5 of them for 160 points, quality 3 and defensive 3 with slow. They all come with fire rifles for 2 shots apiece at 18 inches with rending, and 1 attack with their hand weapons. And you can replace one of the fire rifles with a twin fire pistol, shrapnel bomb, or a torpedo rifle. So this squad is going to give you lots of shots with rending at 18 inches. It also costs twice what a ranger squad does, and over twice of what a marksman squad does. So with that theory, 10 Drake marksmen is equal to about 20 marksmen, or 1 unit is equal to 2 units, and the weapons do reflect that. If you give crossbows to your marksmen, they're going to be a little bit more points. At that point, you'll have the same number of shots at a longer range with rending. Drake marksmen are cool. They look great, but as far as capability on the battlefield, I would rather run 2 squads of marksmen with crossbows. Now we come to the Dwarf Cavalry. Yes, Age of Fantasy Dwarves have cavalry. Our first unit are the Beast Riders, 5 of them for 90 points, quality 4, defensive 5 with Devour and Slayer. They come with dual hand weapons for 2 attacks apiece, and you can upgrade them with a Sergeant, Musician, and Banner. So the Slayer rule, just like on the Berserkers, these guys are going to have AP to attacks whenever they go up against something that has a toughness of 3 or better. So that means that these Beast Riders should be punching above their weight if they're fighting something that's big enough to trigger Slayer. And with Devour, just giving them the ability to spike off 1 extra wound 1/6 of a time. For 90 points, it would be worth throwing 5 of these in the army just to run around the sides and deal with things that the rest of your Dwarf army is not fast enough to handle. And then the next cavalry unit are the War Bear Riders. 3 of them for 160 points. Quality 3 and defensive 3. Impact 2 and toughness 3. 1 attack apiece with the heavy claws at AP2, and 1 attack with the hand weapons. You can replace all the hand weapons with an axe halberd that gives them AP1 and rending. And you can also upgrade them to have a Sergeant, Musician, and a Banner. So I personally have a love of heavy cavalry. And if the enemy has a low defensive score, these guys are going to do most of their damage with the impact slamming into the enemy. For enemies with heavier defenses on them, the heavy claws are going to come in clutch with that AP2 to get some of those attacks through. And then I'd switch over to an axe halberd for an extra 10 points to give them AP1 and rending on those attacks. You want to use the heavy infantry on smaller units of enemy because they do have a tendency to get bogged down whenever they hit something either too durable or too numerous for them just to break through immediately. Now we come to the fun parts. Attack Helicopter, 145 points, quality 4 and defensive 2, fast, flying, and toughness 6. It comes equipped with a mini cannon for 2 shots at 18 inches with AP1 and blast 3. You can then replace that mini cannon for a rapid flamethrower for 12-inch range, 2 attacks, blast 3 with reliable, which means that you're going to hit on a 2. You could also upgrade them with first to battle, which gives them scout, which means they can start at the midpoint of the board. Attack helicopters are something fun to have on the board with your Dwarf army. It's like close air support, zipping around with the mini cannon or the flamethrower, dishing out wounds wherever they are needed most. I would keep them close to, if not behind, your line of Dwarven infantry and use them to blast apart enemies that are giving your troops a hard time. The Bomber Helicopter, 205 points, quality 4 and defensive 2. Bombing run 2, fast, flying, and toughness 6. Comes equipped with a light machine gun for 2 shots at 24 inches with AP1, and the unit has no upgrades. This is another unit that you're going to want to keep close to or behind your line of Dwarf infantry whenever they get in trouble or whenever the lines merge. This flies over top of your Dwarven infantry and the enemy just giving bombs to everybody. With that bombing run, you roll 2 dice because it has bombing run 2, and for each 2 up, you're going to give 3 hits to the enemy with AP1. So it's going to be a possible 6 hits with AP1. That's going to be enough to shake or at least give a lot of concern to your enemies. Next is the Giant Construct, 255 points, quality 3 and defensive 2, fear, slow, toughness 12. Comes equipped with a great weapon for 6 attacks at AP2 and a stomp 4 attacks at AP1. You can replace the great weapon with a heavy steam gun for 2 shots at 18 inches with blast 3 and AP1 and a hand weapon for 4 attacks. Now normally I am all about the big stompy robots in Age of Fantasy just charging headlong into the enemy. But in this case, with the Giant Construct being slow, I have a doubt that it's going to be able to get into combat. Because any enemy sees this coming, unless it's already engaged with something else and can't get away, they're going to run as far as they can away from this thing. So with that in mind, I would give it the heavy steam gun to march forward with the infantry and to provide support by firing over their heads. 2 attacks with blast 3 and AP1 is nothing to sneeze at. That's going to be able to break through an awful lot of enemy troops as long as you're able to get those hits. And with quality 3, you're going to hit more than you miss. And even if you replace the great weapon, you're still left with 8 attacks on this thing, and 4 of those are AP1, so it's not going to be too shabby in combat. And our last unit is something that the Dwarves are notorious for. The Dwarf Artillery starts off at 75 points, quality 4, defensive 5, entrenched, immobile, and toughness 3. 3 attacks with the crew, and 6 shots with its organ gun at 18 inches with AP1. You can replace the organ gun with an axe flinger for 2 attacks at 18 with blast 3 and AP2, a cannon for 2 attacks at 30 inches, AP1 and blast 3, a heavy cannon, 2 attacks at 30 inches, AP2 and deadly 3, a flame cannon, 18 inches, 2 attacks, blast 3 and reliable with AP1, a bolt thrower, 36 inches, 1 shot, AP3, deadly 6, and a stone thrower, 36 inches, 1 shot, AP2, blast 6, and indirect. So all of these weapons are going to do a number on your enemy in case they have a larger target on the field like a chariot or a giant or another construct. That's going to be where you want to use the bolt thrower or the heavy cannon to just be able to get those deadly shots in there to do multiple points of damage. Against larger blocks of infantry, you're going to want to use either the organ gun for more shots, the axe flinger, the cannon, the flame cannon, or the stone thrower to be able to put more blast out there with their different versions of AP. Or if you want them to sit in the backfield and just fling rocks all day, the stone thrower is always a great option. Having a blast 6 on there with AP2 is going to ruin a lot of different units' days. I don't care if you're an elite infantry unit, you don't want to get hit with a rock flying at you from the sky. And remember, you could take a Dwarf champion with the artillerist skill to give these units more shots per turn. So if you wanted to be a real butthead, you could take 2 or 3 stone throwers and 2 or 3 champions with artillerist and just sit in the back and giggle as you drop blasts on the enemy the entire game. So that's going to be it for all of the units and the rules of the Dwarf army. So now we're going to move on into our battle report where our Dwarves are going to take on the zombie horde. Let's see if they can pull this off. So outside of the table today, there are going to be some changes. Our mission, we are going to use this card rule for our mission cards. Each team gets 3 cards, and whichever team is behind every turn can discard 1 card. So using 3 instead of the 5 cards that we have been using, this should lead to a tighter game. Then we're going to use the random terrain generator so that we can add some variation onto the board. So the random terrain rules, you split the table into 6 2x2 foot sections like we have done here with the tape measures. We're going to put the objectives down first that were in the mission rules. So they're supposed to be 9 inches away from each other and outside of deployment zones. This is about the best I can come up with that makes it even across the whole board. So in those 6 spots, we are going to put 1 piece of terrain. It doesn't specify the size of the terrain, so I'm going to use some larger pieces that I have and set them out like so. Then what you do is you move the terrain piece 2d6 inches towards the center of another area. And so what I did there is I rolled 2 dice and 1 additional dice. The 2 dice is going to tell me how far. The dice that it's on its own is going to tell me which way it's going to move. So all of our terrain moved around like this, leading to a pretty jumbled middle of the board with the flanks pretty much wide open. It just so seemed that everything that I rolled on the edges went towards the middle, and the 2 middles just went towards each other. We made sure that all the terrain was 6 inches apart, so if it did move the direction and it ran into the terrain that was there, like some of the pieces did at the end, I just kind of backed it up until it was legal to fit there. So this is going to be our board for today. We have the 3-card mission going. Let's go ahead and look at the armies. This is our Dwarf army for today. Let me go ahead and do a quick rundown of the list. We have 2 blocks of Dwarf warriors, 20 in each block. They are both led by Dwarf champions who have heavy hand weapons and the grudge bearer skill. That means that those 2 units of warriors are going to be +1 to hit in melee. There are 10 bearded veterans over here in the corner, being all crotchety and old man-like. 10 berserkers, being led by a berserker lord. All of them are carrying dual hand weapons and dual heavy hand weapons. A unit of iron warriors with a Dwarf champion. He's going to have the shield carrier, so he's extra tough. He didn't get an upgrade for the unit because this unit is good enough. They don't really need it. We have a unit of 10 marksmen, all armed with rifles, even though you see they're carrying crossbows. They're rifles for today. 3 attack helicopters, all with rapid flamethrowers, and 3 Dwarf artillery, which is going to be the bolt throwers. We're going to see how they do today against the zombie horde. And speaking of the zombie horde, for the 3.3 rules, I have done a little bit of changes to the list. I had some time left over and could throw this together, so we still have our 3 squads of zombies, led by our 3 drained leaders with a summon zombie skill. We still have our 3 corpse wagons. Now we have 3 squads of 5 zombie wolves and 1 group of 3 bat swarms. So here's deployment for the Dwarves. Starting on the right flank, we have the berserkers, followed by the artillery, the attack helicopter, 20 warriors, marksmen, another attack helicopter, 20 warriors, iron warriors with an artillery in the middle, attack helicopter, artillery, and bearded veterans on the left flank. For the undead, starting on their right flank, we have wolves, wagon, 20 zombies, wagon, wolves. So let's go over the mission cards. We're going to hang out over here with the berserkers while we do it. Let's look at the dwarfs first. Remember, they get 3 cards. Seize 2, hold 3, and Spellbreaker. There's not a caster in either army, so that's going to go away. The third objective is Cleanse the Skies. The enemy doesn't have a flyer. That's going to go away. Control objective 3. So that's going to go over here with the dwarfs. Time for the undead. Seize 4. Hold the line. And outflank. For the undead, let's see who goes first. Undead, get a 5. Dwarfs, get a 5. Here we go, starting off good. 3 and a 2. The undead are going to go first. So now none of the zombie wolves are going to scout because I don't think that the undead are going to need it. And it turns out I've been doing spawn wrong. What I've been told is you have to do spawning as soon as you activate. So the first thing we're going to do is activate this cart. And they're going to drop 10 zombies within 6. Like so. And then that cart is going to do a 12-inch move right up the board. So shaky cam time. This dwarf artillery piece with its bolt thrower is going to launch at that corpse wagon. So it's got 1 shot. It hits on a 4. It could potentially take out the corpse wagon in 1 shot. And it misses. So seeing that it escaped death, it is also going to poop out some zombies right there. And I forgot the second part of the rule where they can give off regeneration to 2 units. They're going to give it to this unit and these wolves here. And the one from the first activation is going to give it to this unit and these wolves. Because it comes stock with regeneration, it does not need to do itself. And now this corpse wagon's move, it's just going to put itself on that objective. Time for this dwarf artillery piece to fire at the cart that has already moved. Again, it's 1 shot hitting on a 4. And it misses. Oh Lord, the ones have started. Our third corpse wagon is going to drop zombies as well. Right there. And then it is going to boogie its way taking the train to there. The third dwarf artillery in the middle that has a clear shot is just going to fire into this zombie horde here. 1 shot. It's still a miss, but at least it's not a 1. And I also, again, forgot regeneration. We're going to do it on this squad and this squad. On the zombies' turn, we're going to go ahead and move our summoned unit, their maximum of 8 inches, to there. Time for the dwarves to start getting a move on. Now our berserkers have that skill with the hero that they ignore the slow rule. So they are going to go to there. That puts them just at a charge range of these dwarf berserkers. So they are just going to move forward and stuff them up. Like that. One of our dwarf warrior units here in the center, they are just going to double time it with their short little legs to there, because they're not going to get in combat this turn and they need objective 3 anyways. This unit of zombies that was spawned here, we are going to go ahead and move them out as far as possible to there. Our second big brick of dwarf warriors is going to get on the move into a tight packed column formation like that to make room for the marksman shots later. Back on this flank here, our drained leader is going to summon another squad of zombies, like so, and then him and his zombie squad is going to move out as fast as they can go up the middle and end up there. Our dwarf on a shield and his squad, we're just going to do from the tip to tip, there, and end up like that. This drained leader over here is going to hold their zombies, and they are just going to move to there. The bearded veterans on the dwarf's right flank have moved up to secure objective 1. Then our last squad of zombies over here are going to dump their zombie load this direction, like that. And then they are just going to move behind this squad here to shamble that direction. This unit of marksmen here is going to form up a volley line, and they are going to fire at that unit of zombies in the front that has been summoned. So it's 10 shots hitting on a 4. Something's got to hit, right? Oof. 4 hits. Saving on a 6. Failed them all. But that squad has regeneration, so it only drops 2. So 1, 2, and the regeneration marker. Our unit of wolves with the regeneration on this flank have fast, so they are going to go to there. Time for some dwarven air power to come into play. This guy is going to fly kind of off camera right behind this tree, and then it's going to fire its flame cannon into that squad of zombies. So its flame cannon has reliable 2 shots hitting on a 2. We got 2 hits. Turns into 6 hits, saving on a 6. Kills off 5 more zombies. Morale test on the survivors on a 5. They pass. The next unit of undead wolves is going to launch themselves over to there. Our next Dwarven Air Force member to here. Well, more like there. And it's going to use its flame cannon on this squad right there. Again, 2 shots on a 2. Got 2 hits. Turns into 6 with the blast. Saving on a 6. We got 2 saves, 4 dead zombies. So that'll be 4 from here, and we're going to take them from the back. Last zombie activation for the turn is this unit of wolves. They're going to, again, fire off and put themselves there. Last activation is another Dwarf Air Force member. It's going to come to here. And then he's going to put his flamethrower into this unit of dogs that just moved up. 2 shots on a 2. Hey, boxcars. 6 hits, saving on a 5. Saves 2, so that means there's 1 wolf left. So there goes a bit. Our lone puppy needs a morale test on a 5. He fails. Undead test. He's still around. Time to check objectives for the dwarves. They are going to go ahead and score C's 3 because they have 20 dwarves standing right on it. And their new objective is going to be Delve Deep. Time for the undead. They have scored C's 4 because there's a big old group of zombies on it. Hold the line, they can't score on turn 1. And outflank, there is a gyrocopter just within 6 inches of the middle of the board. So their new objective is going to be C's 1. Going into turn 2, the dwarves are going to have the first activation because I forgot. I did not activate them or activate them. So we're going to say they both held at the end of the last turn. So that would put the zombies activating last. Dwarves go first this turn. There's going to be so much combat this turn. We're going to start off first with the Berserkers. They are going to smash in here. So all told with that squad is going to be 23 attacks, hitting on a 4. So it was only 10 hits, saving on a 6. 1 save. And then that squad has regeneration. It's going to save another 4 more. So that's going to remove 6 of them and the regeneration marker. Now it's time for the zombies to fight back. 6 attacks, hitting on a 5. 1 hit, saving on a 5. Oh, they save. So that means that the Berserkers win combat. Morale test for the zombies. They're going to fail. 3 undead saves. None of them die. So after all that, the Berserkers get to take 1 inch back from the zombies. Fighting on the edges gives us such weird camera angles, but this squad of wolves here is going to charge into this artillery piece. Rawr. So this is going to end up being 10 attacks, hitting on a 5 with Furious. Well, we got 2 6s and that's it, so that'll just equal 4 hits. The artillery piece saves on a 5. That's going to be enough to take it out. Oof. And then they're going to get their little 3 inches of we won combat and just kind of form up there. The Dwarf champion with his Iron Warriors are going to charge into this squad of zombies here. So this one's a little bit complicated. Here's the hero and his crew. We got 3 crew from the guys carrying the shield, 3 for him, and then 10 for the rest of the squad. 10 for the squad hit on a 3. He hits on a 4. We ended up with 7 rending hits. And then the Lord hit with everything, so all of his stuff, they're going to save on a 6. So they save 1. They get regeneration against all this. There goes 5. And then the rest of the squad has rending weapons, so saving on a 6. That's going to be the rest of the squad. So they end up taking out a whole slew of zombies. They're going to get their 3 inch. We can go where we want. We're going to go there. The zombies on their turn, this corpse wagon is just going to plow right into the bearded veterans. No impact on this, so it's just 8 attacks hitting on a 5. We got 3 hits. They're going to save on a 4. So there goes 2 bearded veterans. So on the swing back, it's 8 attacks hitting on a 3. 4 hits, saving on a 4. Save 3, and the cart has regeneration. It takes no wounds. So morale test for the bearded veterans, they pass. I really did not see that coming. Boop. On the Dwarf's turn, those marksmen are going to fire at those 3 zombies left out front. 10 attacks, hitting on a 4. They hit with 5, saving on a 6. That's going to be it for them. Squish. These wolves on the opposite flank are going to do the same thing and charge into that artillery. 10 attacks, hitting on a 5. Oh, we got lots of hit this time. We have 8 hits with those 3 Furious there. Saving on a 5. Yep, that's going to do it. That'll be the second Dwarf artillery piece down, and the wolves are just going to mosey on this direction. And they still have their regeneration marker because they haven't taken a wound yet. This squad of Dwarves in the center here find themselves just able to reach that cart. Then as they all come crashing in, that's the best way they can make it to combat. So with the grudge bearer, the Dwarf champion is going to hit on a 2. For 2 hits, saving on a 4. Save 1 with regeneration. Oh, it fails. Takes 1 wound so far. And then there's 11 Dwarfs close enough to attack, hitting on a 3. 8 hits, saving on a 3. 2 go through with regeneration. It takes 1 more. 8 attacks back from the cart on a 5. 1 hit, saving on a 4 because of shield wall. It passes. That means the cart loses combat and passes its morale test. So after all that, it takes 2 wounds down to 4. And these guys back up an inch. Zombies' turn. Our big block here with the trained leader is going to charge in to this squad. So we got the leader and 16 warriors in there. We're going to start with the drain leader hitting on a 5. Whiff! And then 32 attacks with the zombies hitting on a 5. The Iron Warriors have a save of 3, but with Shield Wall, it makes their save a 2. For 1 dead Iron Warrior. So that'll be 1 dead, and then the rest, well, they don't got to go far. We'll move in to attack. So the Iron Warriors, the AP doesn't matter, the rending doesn't matter. They're all going to hit on a 6. For nothing. So the Iron Warriors and the champion, their morale is a 3. They're going to pass. And then the 1-inch backup takes them to there. This unit of dwarves here on objective number 3, they can just not take that opportunity to charge there. So we're getting a little bit crowded here in the middle, but because of the way things shake out, there's going to be 13 warriors and the champion are going to get to fight. So once again, AP, rending, whatever, doesn't matter because they're zombies. They only save on a 6. These guys are going to hit on a 3. 12 hits, save it on a 6. They save 3 of them, so 9 zombies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then these guys get 3 inches to get over here and get in the fight. So it's going to be 7 zombies and the leader. So the leader first with his AP2 weapon hitting on a 6. Nothing. Then all of our zombies on a 6. Nothing. Morale test for the zombies. They fail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more zombies are going to go down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as the road noise is getting ridiculous, leaving us with 2 zombies and the leader. So then the dwarves have to back up an inch. So they're going to have to bounce out here. Like so. Over in this mess, this cart is going to blast into that squad there. It's already fought, so 8 attacks on a 6. We got 1 hit, saving on a 3. Oh, they fail. So it's 1 dead dwarf. So that will be 1 boop, dead dwarf. Now time for them to pile in. Oh, Lord. So the leader hitting on a 6. Gets 1 hit, saving on a 4. Saves. Then 13 dwarf warriors on a 6. 2 hits, saving on a 3. Takes 1 wound. But it has regeneration. So it will take the 1 wound, but because the cart has fear, the cart won combat. Or the wagon. Why do we keep calling it a cart? The wagon won combat. But the dwarves pass their morale. That pushed them around enough to where this zombie squad is going to charge here, and it's going to have a path now to get around the side. And it's going to be like that, where we're going to be able to get 19 of the 20 zombies and the drained leader in there. So the squad lead hitting on a 5. Nothing. And those 19 zombies, 38 attacks hitting on a 5. We ended up with 11 hits, saving on a 3. They pass all of it. Now it's time for them to attack back. Okay, AP doesn't matter. The squad does still have regeneration on it. So 19 warriors and the champion hitting on a 6. 4 hits, saving on a 6. Nothing. Regeneration on the 5. Pass 1. So the zombies lost combat, but they passed their morale test. Getting them back an inch out of combat meant we got zombies in the trees. The last foot unit for the dwarves is going to go now, which is going to be the bearded veterans. They're just going to come and encircle the cart. Everybody's already fought in this combat, so the bearded veterans are going to hit on a 6. With 2 hits, the cart's going to save on a 4. It saves. Then the wagon, I keep saying cart, the wagon has 8 attacks on a 6. With 1 hit, and the bearded veteran save on a 4. They're going to pass. But because the wagon does have fear, the dwarves need to pass a morale test. And they do. So these guys just back up an inch. Down here in this mess in the middle, this unit of zombies is going to charge here. To there. So it'll be 10 zombies against that unit. 20 attacks on a 5. 4 hits, the dwarfs save on a 2. Oh, we got 1 more. 8 Iron Warriors and the champion with his crew hitting on a 6. 2 hits, saving on a 6. Failed them both. That means the zombies lost combat. but they pass their morale test. So that means just one more of these guys go down, and then this squad has to do the backward shuffle. And I forgot they lost 2. Time for the Dwarven Air Force. This guy is going to go 8 inches to here. He is going to burninate that squad. His 2 attacks hit on a 2. 2 hits, turns into 6 with the blast, saving on a 6. They lose 5 more. Needing a morale test. They fail. 4 zombies left. 3 zombies left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Over on the opposite flank, our corpse wagon. Boom! Our wagon has 8 attacks on a 5. 1 hit, saving on a 5. It's 1 dead berserker. So that'll just be 1 down, and then the rest are going to pile as far as they can here. That 1 zombie being in the way is going to screw a lot of that up. So 9 berserkers in the champion. So I do got to keep track of who does what now. So we're going to do the Berserker Lord first, hitting on a 6. Wow, he really missed. And then everybody else on a 6. So they got 3 hits, but now their Slayer rule comes into effect. So these are going to have AP2. The wagon saves on a 5. 2 saves with regeneration. 2 wounds go through. The cart does have fear of 1, so it is going to be a wash. Tied combat. So you get a 4. And back up an inch, and then you back at this zombie's just really, there we go. This looks better. This Dwarf Air Force unit here is just going to jump back to here, and then he's going to burn that zombie squad right in front of him. 2 attacks on a 2. Oh, only 1 hit. Save on a 6. Save 1, and then that squad still has its regeneration marker. They're going to save them both. So all that ended up doing was just taking away that marker. Speaking of that, man, I keep forgetting that. So we're going to say this cart, put the marker here. There's no one else around for it to use it on. That cart would have done this unit. Well, the only other one in range is this one. We're going to say that one's still gone because it's order of operations. And then that one would have done this zombie unit, but because, we don't want to go back in time that far, we're going to go ahead and give it to him now. So back to the monster mash in the middle. This zombie squad is now out of range to charge, so they're just going to go up here and clog this hole. Like so. Then our last attack helicopter there is going to just, we're going to say he could squirt over this and get right into this squad of zombies of 2 with the leader there. So 2 attacks on a 2. 2 hits. The squad takes 6 hits, so we got to do the zombies first. 5, 5, 5. So there goes the zombies. And then the Stitch leader. He takes 1 wound. Morale test for him. He passes. So 1, 2, and 2 wounds left. This squad that was just chilling in the back, they're just going to go ahead and march onto Objective 4 and kind of be part of the next wave. The last one to activate for the Dwarves is that artillery piece. Let's go take a look. Okay, hi guys. What can you see out there? Well, from their height, yeah, those guys would be in the way. So, oh wait. Haha! Let's see, do we got one really dead pupper? Nope. So we got this squad of zombies here. They are just gonna kind of, don't mind us. We're just hanging out. You see nothing. And then same thing with the zombie wolf here. Hi. So time for objectives. For the Dwarves, they are going to get hold 3 because they had it last turn and now they still got it. So there's 2 points for the Dwarves. And the other 2 they have not been able to pull off. So their new objective is going to be to hold 1. Then the undead. Seize 1, they do have that because they've got a couple of zombie units standing on it, so it's 1 point. Outflank, that's not going to happen. And hold the line, everybody took off outside the deployment zone, so they're not going to get that. Their new objective is Seize 5. And because they are the underdog, they're going to go ahead and get rid of outflank. They're allowed to discard 1 if they are losing. And they're going to pull off Arcane Chant. No, I can't do that. No one's a caster here. Big Game Hunter. Destroy an enemy unit with toughness 6 or higher. So that's going to be possible with the attack helicopters. They are toughness 6. At the beginning of turn 3, our bat swarms have showed up 9 inches away from the marksman. First activation turn 3, because the Dwarves are going to have to take objective number 2, our Iron Warriors and their leader are going to charge into this squad here. So with all the weapons in the squad, the AP1, the rending, it doesn't matter because the zombies' armor save is so bad, we just get to roll everything together. So hitting on a 3 and saving on a 6. So that ended up killing 9 zombies. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then they're going to pile back in. So that was a fresh unit. So this is 11 zombies plus the drained leader. The drained leader hits on a 5. Hey, finally hit once. The Dwarfs save on a 2. This is AP2, so saving on a 4. Ah, they save. 22 attacks from those 11 zombies. Hitting on a 5. 8 hits, saving on a 2. They're going to save them all. So the zombies definitely lost combat, but they passed their morale test. This game is just turning into a slug match. Nobody's running away. Everyone's just beating the crap out of each other. The way I like it. The undead are going to start out with the bats. Scree! So they have 9 attacks looking for 5s. 4 hits, and the marksmen save on a 5. They're going to lose 2. So 1, 2. Their attacks back. 8 attacks, hitting on a 4. 5 hits, saving on a 5. The bats take 2 wounds, and the combat is tied. So this guy's going to be down to 1, and we're just going to boop, boop, boop. These Dwarf Berserkers are going to put their Slayer ability to good use to get some extra AP on that wagon. 18 attacks with the little guys, 4 attacks with the leader. They're all going to hit on 4s. Tons of hits. The big white dice are going to save on 5s, and the little yellow dice on a 6. That ends up being 11 wounds, regeneration on a 5. That's going to be more than enough to take out that wagon. So, boop. And then they are going to head inland here, because at the end of that road is another cart. Over in this mess in the middle, this drained leader right here is still holding on to 10 zombies, and it is going to deploy them. That may look like it's out, but nope, that is 6 inches from the base. And then we're going to look from the other side. All of those zombies, even the ones in the trees here, are going to charge into that squad. First we start with the leader on a 5. Nothing, like usual. Then we have the horde of zombies on a 5. Then the Dwarf Warriors save on a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're going to go ahead and fight back. 15 Dwarf Warriors and the leader hitting on a 3. Zombies saving on a 6. They're going to lose 8 zombies. So the zombies lose combat, morale check. They're going to fail. Time for the undead roll. They're going to lose 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Back up. Back up. Back up. There we go. This Dwarf Warrior squad here cannot charge here because we have the lone guy. So what is going to happen is the Air Force, our attack helicopter, is going to go and try to burn him out. 2 shots on a 2. Got 2 hits. Turn it into 6. That's going to be 1 dead drained leader. I'm melting. Well, I'm burning from the inside. Next activation for the undead. This summoned squad is going to try to, I don't know, create a zombie pyramid to get up to that flyer. Well, it's not a flyer. It's just a flying vehicle. You know what I mean. Hitting on a 5. Well, that was pretty bad. 4 hits, saving on a 2. Yeah, it doesn't care. You guys are just not tall enough to make that happen. Now on the Dwarfs activation, this squad's gonna pile in here. This is gonna be tricky. There we go. There we go. With piling around, we're able to get 15 in combat with the 5 of them standing back there going, hey guys, good luck. So the black dice hit on a 2 and the white dice hit on a 3. Ooh, that's a lot of 2s. Wow, just look at that. Ugh. So 9 hits, saving on a 6. Save 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got 3 zombies and the leader to fight back. Everybody hits on a 6. Hey, we got some hits. 2 at AP2, meaning this goes to a 5. So 1 goes down, and then 2 at 3s. 1 goes down. So even with that, the zombies definitely lost combat, and they failed their morale test. And they're going to lose 2 more zombies. So they lose 2 warriors here, 2 zombies here, and then he'll move back, and this guy, boop, 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 he'll go back there. This is the frustration of undead, is that those 2 guys are still there, and they're still going to be able to move around and contest stuff. I'm not saying it's bad design, I think it's really good design. This is kind of a fight where immovable object meets unstoppable force. So over here, you get to see the dice box in a different angle. These wolves are going to be a pain in the butt, and they're going to charge into those berserkers that thought they were able to get away clean. So it's going to be 10 attacks with Furious, hitting on a 5. Wow, 2 hits, just because 1 6 was rolled. So, saving on a 5, they're going to lose 2 berserkers. So we're just going to take 1 and a 2, and then these guys are going to turn around and say, hi, hey, what's going on? Hitting back on a 6. We got 3 hits, saving on a 5. They lose 2. So, oh wait, regeneration. I didn't notice that till right now. So, they still lose 2. So, tied combat, zombie wolves back up an inch. This unit of warriors is going to activate, and they are just going to plow into the cart. Everybody's hitting on 6s. So 1 hit at AP1, saving on a 4. It passes. 8 attacks back on a 5. Yeah, 2 hits, saving on a 3. Oh, they lose 1, and that means they also lose combat. So morale test for the Dwarves. They're going to pass because the leader has a quality of 3. Over here, this lone wolf is going to charge in to the bearded veterans. 2 attacks on a 5. Hey, 2 hits. Saving on a 4. 1 goes down. 7 attacks back on a 3. 4 hits. Saving on a 5. Oh, he just barely goes down. That's too bad. He was so close, but what that did is it fatigued that unit of veterans. These marksmen are going to fire into the vampire bat swarms just cuz. 8 shots hitting on a 4. Ooh. I'm just not meant to shoot anything tonight. 2 saves on a 6. Takes both. So that'll take out one of those stands and then put the other one down to 2 wounds. So morale test. Wait, no. I forgot how shooting works. So that'll take this one out and put this one to 2 wounds. No morale test needed yet. Let's try this shot one more time. Hitting on a 4. Oh, good Lord. Not 1 has hit. You know, just because of that, these wolves are going to go back this way. They're having pity on those crewmen. 10 attacks on a 5 with Furious. 3 hits, saving on a 4. Oh, they lose 2. The 5 remaining fight back on a 6. We got 1 hit, AP1, so saving on a 6. Fail. Regeneration. Fail. So the Dwarves ended up losing combat morale test on a 3. They pass. The Dwarf attack helicopter is going to try to burn out this squad here. 2 shots on a 2. 2 hits. Saving on a 6. None of them. So that'll leave the drained leader with 2 wounds left. Morale test. Fail. Takes one more wound, still there with 1. The wagon is going to shimmy this direction and charge there just to make sure he is fully on that objective. 8 attacks on a 5. 2 hits, saving on a 4. Ooh, 1 goes down. 4 veterans left, hitting on a 6. 2 hits. It's AP 1, so saving on a 4. 1 wound. And regeneration fails it, so it's going to take 1 wound. But it does win combat because it has fear. And the dwarfs fail the morale test, but they're also fearless. But it doesn't matter. So it took all the way till the last part of turn 3 before something finally failed a morale test that mattered. The dwarves are out of activation, so what's going to happen here is these zombies are just going to go get on objective number 5. These zombies that were summoned and untouched from turn number 1 are going to charge into this squad here. 7 zombies are close enough, so 14 attacks on a 5. 4 hits, saving on a 3. They make them all. 8 dwarves and the dwarven leader attack back on a 6. We got 2 hits, saving on a 6. Failed them both. But that squad still has regeneration. Still failed them both. So that squad loses combat, fails its morale test, and it has to take 8 undead saves. Loses 2 more. Leading to that, with the last undead activation, this cart is just going to plow right in. 8 attacks on a 5. Nothing. Wow. All the dwarfs attack back on a 6. 1 hit, saving on a 3. Passes. Now the wagon does win combat because it has a fear of 1, so the dwarves have to take a morale test, and they pass. So let's look at some objectives. For the dwarves, they do not hold 1, they don't have anything in the enemy backfield, and they were unable to take objective 2. For the zombies, they were able to take 5 for 1 objective, but they were not able to achieve the other 2. So that's going to put it at a 3-3 tie so far. The next objective for the undead is area dominance. So to break the stalemate in the middle, these berserkers, because they are not slow, are going to be able to charge into that wagon. So everybody hits on a 4. As far as numbers of hits goes, these berserkers have been consistent the whole night. Yellow dice save on a 6, white dice save on a 5. 8 hits went through, so regeneration. That's going to be enough to take out that wagon. Boom! Our undead rats with wings are going to charge back into the marksman. 6 attacks on a 5. 3 hits. Marksman save on a 5. It's going to be 3 go down. 5 attacks back. 1 hit. Saving on a 5. The bat takes a wound. Morale test for the marksman. They're going to be fine. Over here on this objective, this warrior unit is going to charge into here. And in lieu of rolling dice, after seeing everything that is going on with this dwarf squad, we're just going to say that they're going to be able to do 3 wounds. There you go. This unit of zombies is again going to try to make the dead guy pyramid. Take out that attack helicopter. 10 zombies, 20 attacks on a 5. Oh, we got some spunk this time. Ended up with 9 hits, saving on a 2. It's going to take 1 wound. And because it can't fight back, it's going to have to take a morale test. But it's going to pass just fine. That unit of warriors there is going to charge that. And then I'm going to do this. This unit of zombies here is just going to hold. So this unit of warriors is going to charge in, and yeah, we're going to do this again. The unit of dwarf warriors is going to bubble out a little bit from the objective so there's no pesky run-ups from some people. These wolves are just going to boop to that objective. The remaining marksmen are going to fire into the bats. 5 shots hitting on a 4. 2 hits, saving on a 6. 1 fail, 1 wound. That takes him down below half. Passes their morale test. That unit of zombies is also going to hold. Our attack chopper, just out of spite, is going to burn him. 2 attacks, 1 hit, saving on a 5, or a 6, fails all 3. The undead's true weakness, fire. The corpse wagon is going to move to there. Then the attack copter is going to move to there. Then the undead are going to charge it with the zombie wolves. 8 attacks, hitting on a 5 with Furious. 7 hits, saving on a 2. Oh, it takes 2 wounds. It fails combat, so morale test time. It fails its morale. So with that, it is going to be stunned and can't contest that objective. And just for S's and giggles, he's going to shoot at the wolves. Hitting on a 4, I swear to God. I did 1. Saving on a 6. Kills a wolf. Boom! Not quite vindication, but that felt good. For the Dwarves, they were able to get Seize 2 for 1 victory point, but were unable to take anything else. And for the Undead, the big one is Area Dominance for 2 victory points. So with a final score of 4-5, the Vampiric Undead remain undefeated. The Dwarves vastly outnumber them with what's left on the field. Their armor feels like the strongest in Age of Fantasy. The amount of stuff still left on the board is amazing to me. Of course, the dice did not help that all of the ranged units during the game just absolutely were terrible. Except for the fire-breathing attack helicopters. I mean, Reliable's going to do that. So the reign of the Vampiric Undead in the Age of Fantasy setting, I think I'm going to have to call in some outside help for this one. Look forward to that in the next week. These Dwarves may have lost the game, but these Highland miniatures models are gorgeous. There's no denying that. So that will do it for me in the garage for this week. I hope you all are out there having a whole bunch of fun playing OPR. And I hope I see you across the table one day. See you later. Bye-bye.